How's it going, guys? Today I'm actually going to try to do something a little bit different. I want to do kind of like a Q&A and respond to some of these comments. I'm getting lots and lots of people coming to me like on Facebook and whatnot, and it's getting a little bit hefty. I'm not going to lie, but I do want to try to help as many people as I can understand as well as they can about whatever it is they need to know. And just let me know if you like this video, and if you do, I'll start doing more and throwing them in the mix there, and if you don't, I'll just cut it out and we'll go back to doing it how we were doing it. Before I get into it though, I do want to let you know that the Facebook page is up and going. The link's in the description. I went ahead and just made a whole brand new one. I would do much better as a page admin anyway, for just like a public figure page, which is what I made because I create all my own content. And YouTube and Facebook are like two totally different universes with the way people interact. YouTube is more apt to draw somebody who would watch like a 10, 15, 20-minute video. Facebook is designed to give you more of a short attention span. So like if I have a video that I just want to say something really quick and make a really quick little point, you know, that would probably go a little bit better on Facebook. It would also be a way for you to share some of these things. To share these videos, you know, with people. I know a lot of people say, hey, I want to share your videos. I hear that they go viral on astrology websites and stuff like that too. So anyway, let's get to some of these comments here. Let's see here. Okay, this one is by somebody named Yours Truly. It says, they do understand emotions. I agree. Everyone else's except their own. So intense. They're scared of shrewd cancers. Why, oh why? Just relax. We don't bite. We love your crazy ass. Well, yours truly. Okay. I'm assuming that you're a Cancer. I think it's pretty safe to make that assumption on here. So this is on my part 2 Brutal Truth About Aquarius video. And I don't know if you paid attention to the video very well or not, but either way, I've had a few different Cancers come to my videos and comment and watch my Cancer video. I might make a part 2 to Cancer at some point. It hasn't really changed all that much, but it's to the point where that I'm in my life where with the sign Cancer in particular, I am almost refusing to try to communicate on a very deep level, because Aquarius and Cancer are just two completely different universes. Aquarius sees the world their way. Cancer sees the world their way. Every time I find myself trying to explain something to Cancer, it seems like no matter how, I can't make it any more clear. There's no way to make it more understandable, and Cancer just either doesn't care, doesn't pay attention to it. I could explain it 10,000 times and it will never sink in. They do the same thing to me. They try to convince me of certain things, and no matter how many times I tell them, look, no, they don't. I don't know. We just don't communicate the same. So that's kind of, we're not scared of Cancer. It's just, be 100% honest, y'all are kind of annoying, to be honest with you. But everyone else's emotions except our own. Okay, now for every Cancer out there watching this, you of all the signs, Cancer, have no idea how to separate yourself from your emotions. You are not your emotions. Okay, many people don't know that. Your emotions are a biological byproduct of your brain's reaction to your intuition. Okay, so if you can take that part that is inside of you, that is aware that you are thinking, that thinks about thinking, that is aware that you are feeling feelings and feeling emotions, and is aware of what's going on inside. If you take that part of you and separate it from the rest of you and observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, you might actually learn something about your own emotions that you didn't even know. I know that you are very, very big on studying everybody's emotional behavior and their every little movement about how their eyes move when they talk, and how their tone inflection rises or lowers as they're talking about certain things. And you think that means you know an awful lot about the person, which in a certain sense, I guess it does, but it goes an awful lot deeper than that. And if you could separate yourself from those emotions, you would learn that there's actually a deeper sub-level under that, over it, and around it, that Cancer is just completely unaware of right now. But that's for later on down the line, once they figure out how to progress beyond the sign Cancer. Anyway, let's see here. Do a video on Libra women. Fell in love with an Aquarius. Man, gosh, I love/hate him. LOL, the most amazing sex ever. Okay, this is from Ash B. Well, Ash B, there's a reason why I haven't done a video on Libra women. Now, if you look on my other channel, the very first Aquarius video I did that has like 60,000 views, on that channel I did a video on Libra too, but all those have evolved since then. That was about almost 2 years ago that I did all those. I've never had a good experience with Libra, period. So that's one of the reasons why I'm still waiting to do a video on Libra, is because still to this day, I have the same experience every time I'm around a Libra, especially a Libra woman, which I attempted to date one back in the spring of 2016. And with Libra, with me, see, Libra is a cardinal sign. The cardinal signs are horrible about this. What I was just saying with Cancer, same thing almost with Libra, but Libra's an air sign, so it's much more airy. But cardinals do not give their emotions a lot of thought. I would have to say that of all the cardinal signs, the Capricorn is the most advanced, because Capricorn's pretty much on its way out. That's it. That's at the last 3 stages of the astrological cycle. But they do tend to have a little bit of trouble with it. But the cardinal signs, with their element and how it operates, they don't think very much about their emotions. So when an emotion happens, bam, that's all they're conscious of. That's all they're aware of. That's all they become. They become every single bit of that emotion, and what the emotion feels like. And they have no clue how it's affecting their thought process, how their thought process is affecting their emotions, and how that cycle, that wheel, turns in the process of making the emotion/thought/emotion/thought wheel turn. And I feel like I am tiptoeing through the tulips when I'm around a Libra, because like I say one little teeny weeny teeny tiny thing that they don't like, or I do one little teeny tiny thing that they don't agree with, and they will lose their minds. And that's just with every Libra interaction I've ever had, whether it's being good friends with them, being in a relationship with them, which I was in one. Like I said, I attempted to date another Libra woman. It lasted 3 days, and she got mad at me and threatened to run me over with her car. So as soon as she hit the brakes, I jumped out and took off running and never saw her again, because I gave a female friend a hug. Yeah, I don't deal with that at all. So as of right now, my Libra experience isn't even enough. I haven't had enough good experience to draw what I would consider to be a good general consensus of the sign to be able to make a video on it. So if that helps. Let's see. Please do a video on how to attract an Aquarius and how to know if Aquarius is into you. Pixie doll. I guess that has to be how you pronounce that. How to attract an Aquarius. Well, see, here's the thing. That's not really one specific category. You can't really categorize that with just the sign Aquarius, but I will tell you some do's and don'ts. and how to know if an Aquarius is into you. I'll get to that part here in a minute. But as far as how to attract an Aquarius, I would have to say, just to generalize every Aquarian on the planet, that one big thing that you need to do is to be more obvious. Don't be too pushy. Okay, here's a classic example. This is one of the reasons why I have gained that Aquarian reputation for being like, oh, he's so oblivious. A woman can be flirting with him and he doesn't even react to it. One of the main reasons why is because there's an awful lot of women, an awful lot of women who are extremely flirtatious. Very, I don't know if they're doing it for attention or what. I could speculate on that all day, but for just for the sake of the argument here, very flirtatious, very upfront. Might as well have a sign on your forehead and a megaphone saying, I want to take you to bed. But so the minute we go and like try to act on it, it's like, ew, what are you doing? Nothing, never mind then, you know? But then on the other hand, there will be another woman that you don't even notice. You don't think they notice you. You wouldn't even really make the connection because there's no communication, very little eye contact, very little, you don't even acknowledge the fact that I'm in the room. And then 3 months later, you'll hear from one of her friends, oh my God, didn't you know? Didn't you notice how into you she was? How was I supposed to notice? You're gonna tell me you didn't see how she would look at you with that look and flip her hair from across the room? See, no, I'm not playing that game at all. I'm just not. You can either make it obvious and make it known. You know, I'm not gonna say, just be really bold with it. You can if you want, but make it known. That's one thing that me and pretty much every other Aquarius I've ever met is not going to do, is not going to sit around and play hints and suggestion games like, ooh, I wonder, ooh, so mystical. And I'm not playing that game. It's a waste of my time. Yeah, I'm not going to play a mind game with you. I can beat you at your mind game. I promise you that. So make it obvious. I can't promise you that that will attract the Aquarius, but it will increase the chances. And how to know if one is into you, this can be kind of hard to explain. So hear me out on this. I will make it a point to be a closer friend to you than I am to my other friends. See, I know this is going to sound very Aquarian of me, but hear me out and let me explain myself. I am a firm believer that a friendship needs to be established first. And let me explain to you why I believe that. Many people do not allow themselves to think through the process of when they first meet that person they're into. And you get that sensation. You know the sensation I'm talking about. I probably don't even need to describe it, but just for the sake of the video here, when you first meet somebody, that sensation, and oh my God, you're the most amazing person I've ever met. I can't explain why, but everything you do is beautiful. Everything you say is just perfect. Every move you make is perfect. I can't stand not being around you. I can't stand not hearing from you. You know, that sensation, that really intense pulling sensation. Most people take that sensation, form a relationship with it, and run with it. And 99% of the time, those relationships are karmic. Remember how I said in the other video that many people confuse their emotions for their intuition? Well, emotionally, your emotions are telling you you need this person. This person is your soulmate, which they are, but they are a karmic soulmate. Because your intuition is telling you, if you listen, if you learn how to separate the feeling from the emotion, you will notice and you will learn that when you feel that sensation, that is a very strong indication that something karmic is on its way. Now, how do you clear that karma? Okay, so when you're blinded by that sensation, you could take a completely separate person from them and say that personality-wise, They're like, and interests and all those things, they're like the exact same person, but you don't even like this person. But with this person over here, it doesn't matter who they are as a person. You're blinded by that sensation. They could, exaggeration, spoiler here, they could tell you that they just got done murdering their family, and that wouldn't mean anything to you because you are blinded by that sensation. So to clear that, let that sensation settle, because it's going to settle whether you take it and run with it or not. So if you let that sensation settle and think your way through, do me and this person get along? Outside of that sensation and wanting to have sex all the time and wanting to cuddle and all that and mushy gushy stuff. Do we even get along? Do we like the same things? Do we, have common interests that we like to talk about? Do we get along with the same kinds of people? All these things need to be taken into account, because if you just take that sensation, run with it, you're completely blinded by it. After about a year, sometimes 2 years, that sensation will die, and you will realize that you are with somebody you don't even like. Okay? So, how to know if an Aquarius is into you? For some reason, we seem to be very... that idea seems to come very common sense to your average Aquarius and not to most other people. So, if an Aquarius, I would say, makes it a point to be a closer friend to you, like your best friend, they may spend a little bit more time around you. They may poke and prod and want to know a little bit more about you than they know about their other friends, That kind of thing is a good indication that, excuse me, that the interest is there. Alrighty. See how much time I got going here. I can't make it too long, or I don't have a whole lot of room on my phone, so it looks like I still got about 5 or 10 minutes. Let's see. Y'all chase every emotion that comes your way, feeding the ego, Libra. Okay. Jennifer Hoyt. I'm not 100% sure what you're talking about, Jennifer Hoyt. But let's just assume that you're saying that we chase our emotions away that come to us, like our own emotions. Again, I'll go back to it. Okay, so first of all, let me respond to the second part first. Feeding that ego. Okay, first of all, like I said, emotions are your ego's response to your intuition. See, this is a really stupid thing that I don't know where this came from in the spiritual community. I don't know, Jennifer Hoyt, if you're spiritual or not. I would assume, flinging the term out there, ego, like that, probably would be. Plus, in your profile picture, you kind of look like you have this little condescending, kind of has her eyebrow raised, like, I'm a blunt, sassy bitch who speaks my mind, So let's just go ahead and kind of make that assumption, because that's just what you just did to me, so I'm going to do it right back to you. Your emotions are your ego's response to your intuition. Emotions are biological. This very stupid thing that happens in the spiritual community is that the ego is bad. The ego is something you need to tear down and get rid of. The ego is what you experience this with. Your ego is very, very, very important, okay? What you say to me, you say from your ego. That's how we communicate to each other. Chasing emotions away. See, this is one of the reasons why the #1 mind mastery school in the world is taught by a man who has an Aquarius sun and a Virgo moon, if I may toot the horn to that energy, is because most people do not figure out how to separate themselves from their emotions and observe them. And first of all, ask yourself, do you think anybody cares how you feel about every little thing? If you could have your emotions written on your epitaph, do you think anybody walking past it and reading it in 100 years is going to give a damn? So I'm not 100% sure what, but I'm assuming that was just, That's why me and Libra don't get along, right there. Just straight up, that right there is a prime perfect example. I said absolutely nothing about Libra in this video, and some lady named Jennifer Hoyt decided to come along and say something smart-assy, because that's just pretty much how they react to me, no matter what, you know. Minding my own business here, trying to tell people about the sign of Aquarius, and here comes Libra. Did something wrong. I don't know what I did, but you know, that's Libra for you. Okay, so what do you guys think about Virgos? Oh man, let me see if I can figure out how to explain this. I got to keep an eye on the time here. I'm going to try to explain this as quick and simple as possible. Okay, one of the ways that you see karma being played out here astrologically is elements that work in disharmony wanting to draw together really quick because they have externally very common grounds that they share with one another, such as air and earth, fire and water. So, air and earth. What does air and earth have in common on an external level that would maybe draw them together? I was married to a Taurus for 5 years. Air and earth are very thought out people. Very, for lack of a better word, more systematic, more practical, and use their minds more. But let's go ahead and think of the terms in relation to the elements, okay? So what does the air do? The air is all over the place and sees all this different earth and all these things going on the earth, sees up above itself into the vast unknown, and is a part of that, is connected to that vast unknown. So while the air and the earth will want to come together really, really quick because, you know, can have very good conversation, very, very well thought out, the earth is just down here. So the air and earth, Aquarius and Virgo, can entertain each other really, really, really short bursts of very close, you know, mind to mind, eye to eye. But earth signs, just like any other earth sign, after a certain point, you can't really dig too deep because, especially Virgo, but the earth signs in general, it's all about the systematic material, you know, have to be able to take the steps on the physical ground and see the physical data to draw the conclusion about the physical material. If I can't knock on it and walk on it, I'm skeptical of it. You know, I only care about what I can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. And after a while, the air just kind of gets bored with that, and they stay kind of disharmonious and disconnected, and they don't connect. Earth and air, they don't connect together for very long. Fire and water do this almost the same thing, and that's actually a lot more. It's a lot more popular out there in the astrological world. Fire and water are the two emotional signs, the two most emotional, but it's two completely different emotional energies. But they do share a common ground that once an emotion happens, bam, that's your entire universe is your emotions. You can't see, think, reason, or rationalize anything beyond your emotions. Fire and water both do this. My girlfriend's a Sagittarius. Love the fire element, by the way. But the fire is more of a bam, 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 yeah, you know, more of an adrenaline, bam, 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 bam. That's the only way I can think to kind of like give the idea of the fire emotion energy. And the water is more of a deep, mystical, ooh, ah, you know, and after a while, those two, they just don't mix. What happens when fire touches water? Either one or two things. If the water puts the fire out, or the fire makes the water boil, okay? Now, fire and air, what do? They work together in harmony. The air feeds the fire. The air becomes the fire. The fire is the air. It's the air doing a different dance. It's the air taking on a different form. They feed each other. They provide each other growth. They give each other something to do, okay? What does earth and water do. The earth has to lay itself down to give the water somewhere to flow. The water needs the earth. The water doesn't really do too much without the earth. The water comes up into the air, but it always ends up leaving and going back down to the earth. The water needs the earth to flow. The fire needs the air to breathe. The air needs the fire. You know, it's just, do you understand what I'm saying there? So to get back to the original question, I wouldn't do it, Virgo. You can if you want. I just personally wouldn't. Let me try to wrap this up here. Okay, perfect one to end this on. Talk about Aquarius cheating. Seems to be a problem with most of them. I'm going to go ahead and end the video on this one right here. See, I was originally going to do a video about this type of thing here, and it was originally going to be titled Things That Have Nothing to Do with Astrology. Now, I decided to go ahead and hold off on it because, okay, so me personally, I've never been big on cheating. I have done it a few times. In my 15 years of dating and marriage, I have cheated 4 times. With my personal experience in between long-term relationships and my stages of going around the block and playing the field and doing my thing, here's my personal experience. The easiest sign to get into bed, whether they were with somebody or not, was the sign Cancer. Number 2 is Scorpio. Now, does that give me the right to say that it seems to be a big problem with Cancers and Scorpios being cheaters? In my universe, yes. But does that give me a right to just put a label on that and make it official for everybody? No, it doesn't. Because I'm not going to go really deep into the law of attraction because it's very, very deep and complex, and I don't want to lose anybody with that. But you have to go inside and ask yourself, why am I attracting liars and cheaters into my life? Because if you go inside, it doesn't matter what you do or don't do. What you feel, think, and believe on the inside is what will reflect externally. You also have to think about karmic contracts and whatnot. So with astrology, I don't think that can be answered astrologically. It has to do with you, the type of people you are attracting, and those people, just what kind of person are they in general? Because astrological energies are just energies that govern you. You have a lot more control over your astrological chart than you realize. You know, because you are not just your sun sign. And even if you take your sun sign, let's just take the sun sign, starts at Aries and it goes along a string of evolution all the way to Pisces. So unless you're an Aries, you can borrow from just your sun any energy of all the signs before you that you want. But let's say you're an Aries, okay? So you can't do that with your sun sign. What's your moon sign? Say you're an Aries sun with a Pisces moon. You can go deep inside you and you can borrow any energy throughout the zodiac that you want from inside you, from your moon sign. Do you understand what I'm saying? So maybe I'll get into that a little bit more on a different video, but I just don't believe in saying, okay, in generalizing signs to that kind of a degree. I can absolutely sit and explain to you a lot of different things about the signs and generalize, because I've been to so many places. I've visited 45 different states somewhere, met tens of thousands of people, and been studying astrology and astrological interactions for about 10, 11 years now. So I can generalize it on a lot of different topics, but as far as some certain things like, just because you're this sign means you're a cheater, or just because you're that sign means you're a liar, or just because you're that sign means you're going to kill somebody. That would be a whole totally different video, I think. So anyway, I hope that kind of helped interact and answer some of the questions a little bit. Like I said, I'm the Facebook page link is down in the description. So go ahead down there and like that page. I got a little bit of content on it. I'm definitely going to start being more active on that. That's a way to get a hold of me too on Facebook. And if you like this kind of video, start shooting more questions. And every now and then I'll do these Q&As, and I'll see if I can get you some of your questions up and see if I can get them answered here on a video. But yeah, that's all I got today. There will be another video coming this week. But I just wanted to see how that would do with you guys. Just shoot some more questions my way. And like I said, I'll get to them as good as I can. So that's all I got for today. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You guys have a good one.